Saturday Night Live had another Hollywood figure to tackle during its show, and this time it was comedian and four-time host Louis C.K. The comic was accused of sexual misconduct by 5 women in a New York Times expose published on Thursday, which accused the TV writer, producer and star of either attempting to or masturbating in front of them, either in person or over the phone. On Friday, C.K. said the claims were true in a lengthy statement, and he was swiftly dropped by his representatives. FX severed ties with its longtime collaborator and star in his involvement on 4 current TV series: FX's Better Things and Baskets, Amazon's One Mississippi, and TBS' forthcoming comedy The Cops. Saturday's NBC sketch show was hosted by Tiffany Haddish, and in her opening monologue, the girls' trip breakout said she was told she should talk about hot topics. Though she took aim at the sexual harassment and assault allegations that are sweeping Hollywood, and other industries alike, she did not mention C.K. by name. As part of what she called tips, she said, "Listen fellas, listen. If you got your thing out and she's got all her clothes on, you're wrong. You're in the wrong. Wait until she takes her own clothes off, then pull your thing out." During the cold open, while having a chat with Roy Moore, Mikey Day, in the sexual misconduct allegations that have been leveled against the Republican Alabama Senate nominee, Beck Bennett's Vice President Mike Pence dropped in the line, "Even I heard about Louis C.K. and I'm not allowed to watch TV, I'm only allowed to listen to it." During the Moore sketch, Kate McKinnon's Jeff Sessions also appeared, and after dismissing Moore in seeming disappointment, she said to herself, "There's so many men out there acting like monsters, Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, coughed the president." Sessions said, "Has this been happening forever? Have I both fostered and benefited from a culture of systemic oppression?" Sessions then quickly decided, nah. But it was Weekend Update that held its gaze on CK and the current climate the longest. Co-host Colin Yost began by telling New Yorkers the brutally cold weather and the fact that everyone you've ever heard of is a sex monster are 2 good reasons to stay indoors. The comment came with a graphic of CK, Spacey, Weinstein, and more. Of Moore, Yost said the politician's naughty little cowboy outfit screams he's guilty. Then transitioning to CK, he said, "How are we still surprised that someone who puts the 10 commandments up everywhere doesn't follow them? What's next?" It turns out the guy who always jokes about masturbating wasn't joking about masturbating. The weekly segment then welcomed a new character, Claire from HR, an overwhelmed NBC executive, played by Cicely Strong, who has been working nonstop given the current climate. Sharing questions from her annual sexual harassment guidelines seminar, Claire quizzed Yost on how to best handle workplace relationships and consent. In a thinly veiled reference to CK, Strong's Claire offered 3 choices, with one right answer only, of how to handle office romances: inform someone at HR, lock her in a room and make her look at it, or bully her out of the entire industry. When asking Yost the new question she has to do now, she gave options for one. Is it okay for an adult to have a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old? Taking aim at both Moore and Spacey, she asked if it's okay when she's 14 but smoking a cigarette, when 14 but it's Alabama and 14 but you're gay now, so, hooray, how great. When agreeing with Yost that it's such an easy question, she said she didn't understand why it had to be on the quiz and squirted Purell hand sanitizer into her mouth. She also used a prop doll to demonstrate where your penis should be at work. Answer: never out of your pants. I'm sure I'll be back next week and the week after that, forever and ever, because all of this isn't just a scandal. It didn't just start last week, it's just actual reality for half of the population. She closed while reading a mobile alert and exclaiming, "George Takei, no." Haddish, the first black female stand-up comedian to host SNL, was joined by musical guest Taylor Swift. Next week sees Chance the Rapper hosting with musical guest Eminem. This article originally appeared in THR.